from Monday. Hey, beaucoup things don't happen. Beaucoup. It make you able to understand people them. Make you really understand people them. With all waiting they happen in our country. Presidents don't talk. Even though he not get an address to the nation, but at least some of the concerns them where people are done the raise, now we are so. Now we are so. Okay? Alright. Christopher say, you know things say, na President Leone the first way don't travel for medical. All other presidents there don't do the same likewise. All other one them don't do likewise. That's true. Not so presidents they no more safe. You don't suicide sick picking. Where then they campaign for raise money for fly small picking them out of salon. What's in do? Because you're not able. Now you make. Okay. Now you make. Yeah? Alright. Look out to Smantoli. Let we hear. What's in I take on today? Welcome on board Smantoli. Get the platform, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Triple A, for your thorough analysis. That's very, very thorough. And I would just want to express my condolences to the family we lost their loved one. And we go say rest in peace to the one them we lost in life. And we know say 6 police officers involved and 21 civilians. We bring the number of death to 27 people. So may their souls rest in perfect peace. This is not the kind information. This is not the kind situation we would expect for seeing our country, AAA. But sadly enough, now this everything lead me to. And it is sad where people in the come at this platform they can attack. Because how many times we don't come at this forum, we advise the youth, we advise the government on issues like this. I remember a few days ago, we did at this platform, we advise the youth for refrain from protest and riot. We don't do boku ten at this forum. So it shocked me for let people in the come out, they can't attack people in at this forum. It's sad, very, very sad. So that's just an opening statement. But Triple A, I did look at all the various interviews them, and then critically make me own judgment about them. Let's start with me opening statement yesterday. You know, leadership is about influence, according to Maxwell. How you influence people then. And how do you go about influencing them people here? The way how you communicate with people then. Ask yourself, is it effective? Your communication, is it honest? Do you have integrity? Are you listening to the citizens them way you rule? How self-confident are you? How innovative? I think now some of them qualities here, nine will leadership lack na salon. I mentioned that yesterday. And clearly, from all the various interviews them, or listening to today, we don't play for we, it show clear evidence. Say there is some aspect of leadership missing here. Especially that effective communication. Effective communication is very important. Some of them things here, wait and they're on heart now. You know, if we say it makes sense for let the president, they come out on a regular basis for come update the public about some of them here where they happen. Clearly, you the listening from all the various interviews them from Jamiru. You talk about Umaru Fufana. You listen to the interview on a BBC. All of these things, Jones point out to the fact that there is an effective communication missing, and then some aspect of innovation. Because one of the things them we are clearly outlined yesterday, and we come out clearly from all the interviews here, is that massive unemployment, especially among the youth. Now, one of the factors them we're responsible for all them tier we go on at the country. Yeah. But one of the things that was stated clearly yesterday is about engagement. Yeah, engagement with the youth. Not necessarily giving them jobs. Yeah, not necessarily. There are a lot of other ways we go engage the youth. For example, skill training. You just don't tell me today, say you get your own farm during when these demonstrations they go on. You youth them we employ at the farm or we engage in that farm, them busy they carry out. This is innovation. This is some aspect of innovation. We go carry on for engage the youth. So now all of them here we they talk about. Okay, now let me look at specifically some of the interviews them we don't listen to. Let's start with Solomon Jamiru, when are the Deputy Minister of Information in your submission we make. I think in politics sometimes it is good to be critical and it's good to be honest. And it's one of those qualities of leadership. And what's Jamiru said today, Naya, it says it all. It is important for build a critical space in our country. We're not just involve that government, not just people away there within the government, but also outside the government. Yeah, that engagement, they bring about what we call inclusivity, inclusiveness. And when everybody take ownership, is involved in the process, it make some of them chaos here, they see so, some of them protest out here, it reduce them. And it's exactly what Solomon Jamiru they say. And I think to a very large extent, we'll see a missing now this government. Yeah. And it says it all. And also, when you listen to Steady Bongo, yeah, Steady Bongo, now we all know, say now one of the most popular musicians in that country. He's very honest. Most of his submissions that we can listen to. He talks about the lack of effective communication from the president. As a president, it is good to come out honest to your citizens, communicate with them, and it's part of the consultative process. When I say consultation, it's about, having a dialogue. Tell the people and the truth. Explain to them on a regular basis what did they go on and how they go about it. That's where you gain integrity. Honestly tell them. To be honest with you, we all know to a very large extent, all over, there are issues. We talk about the economic crisis, the cost of living crisis. We know about the Ukraine and Russian war, where it gets significant impact on the world economies. But coming out to the public, explain to me, what are you doing about it? What are the measures them? What are the approaches the world don't take? And what you intend for take? And this goes back to the interview where BBC interview. Very thorough interview. Yeah. And when they ask them about some of the solutions, then I don't say the man way mostly focus on what they do about the free quality education. Yeah, we know say all the time they talk about that. But in economic situations like this, cost of living crisis like this, I think what in the interviewer they look for, what are the short-term measures them where the government take in order for cushion the economic crisis. That is what they are looking for. And also later on, the president narrowed that down. He narrowed that down. Yeah? But believe me, listeners, the measures they wouldn't take, one, they know they communicate them to the citizens and for that they understand. Because somebody know they where they come with effective, especially the president. Tell me, say, you get for be a little bit creative, you get for get our critical creative speaking skills. We sympathize with what in the happen. Come out to the public, be honest with them. We sympathize with what in the happen at the world now. But hey, please, this now a general and a global phenomenon. But we have done A, B, C, X, and Y. And we are still working on this for make sure say this thing happen. But the president is not doing that. So when that happen, then the citizens in office say they have been neglected. That is what is happening here. That is what is happening here. We all feel say, the country has been abandoned by a man when they talk. If he say no, they talk, he only talk. No, it don't mean say when you come, you can't talk to the public, you for make lies. No, that's not what we are saying. Because he say, I remember the way he talk one time, say, boss way they come, he talk frequently, they talk lies. That's not true. You can come, he tell the people the honest truth about what in happen at the country without lying about it. Just give them that assurance. Say, we understand how they feel, things are difficult all over the world, but we don't do A, B, C, D, but we try for do X, Y, Z. That is a simple formula for the president. That is what we need from him. And look at this. Yeah? We expect them and we hope it come out, because I know say from the interview we don't listen to, then say it gets a consultative meeting with the security sector. We hope it will come out boldly, bravely, yeah, and honestly to the public, and tell me what happened with this particular incident we don't see yesterday or day before yesterday. We hope it will come out. But again, you also listen to Umaru Fofana. Yeah. In fact, we know say there is a contradiction between what the president say and to that of Umaru Fofana over His Excellency in visiting at the UK now. Yeah. I think you said it all, AAA. The press release will come out from State House, from the office of the president. I read them. Clearly states say the president they come on a private visit. Yeah? Today, we don't listen to him. He say he come on a medical visit. And then Umaru Fofana also talk about a private visit, which is in itself contradictory. You see how effective communication is important. If that person will write a press release, then just for making clearly say the president they go on medical checkup. Not necessarily, well, can say so, but you can say the president they go on a medical checkup. A medical checkup can be annual checkup where we all can do now the UK now, yeah. Medical checkup, just for go see everything is functional in your body. Yeah. That's simple. All this rancor arguments about, sometimes the way they play with the words, again, it make a lot of difference. Say the president, clearly communicating it, that the president they go on a medical checkup. A medical checkup, then we'll see him per SLPP meeting, we're not go surprise. Because it not necessarily means where to go. It can be you sick or just a checkup. I think the way out there sometimes they can play with the language. I know they are well educated, but again, you have to be careful. You have to be careful the way they play with the words then. I think, that's what boils down to what we call effective communication. But now look at that. In the counter, we say he come on a medical visit, while as a press release, they tell me about the private visit. When you're in a public figure, yeah, some of this privacy you get for chin them down, for meet the people the way they rule. That is what we talk about now, yeah. And we talk about the interview. Basically, you listen to BBC interview, yeah. He asks if anybody there where they call for a dialogue between what's in the upper right now with the citizens. Them, what happened to the national cohesion, where they don't spend so much time for build up this national cohesion. This is a time we expect that particular cohesion where they talk about peace and national cohesion. This is a time we expect them to become effective, because national cohesion is all about about mediating between the government and that of the concerned citizens. This is not the time where we expect them to become active. But we have not had anything about that. And also, what's in the civil, what's in the civil service they talk about this? The civil society they do about this. Those are the things then where officially we they look forward to. Yeah. And one thing no more way I think I need to make myself very honest to myself. I think where I really appreciate what in the president say is about some individuals them within the diaspora, where they incite. We are not calling names on this platform as a strict policy for this platform. But indeed, certain individuals where they in the diaspora know they help the situation back home. Our youth, our people are vulnerable. So any incitement from these individuals abroad get some inspiration. Don't forget a chunk of, we support, they come out from here to with people in Africa. So any statement, anything where you say, it gets some implications, it get impact on them because they are vulnerable. Yeah, poverty, they help the situation of the country. Yeah, for 61 years, we still talk about this poverty. And so you have to be careful. You have to be careful. That is what we are saying here. To a very large extent, let's be honest with this. This incitement, it gets some impact on what in the happen in our country. We have all seen this. The videos are not secret. The audios are not secret. They help the country. We don't fight 11 years of civil war. We just come out 20 years ago. We know they wish this for the country. We have to be honest with ourselves. And this is what makes this platform credible. Yeah? I mean, the only thing where are concerned with His Excellency the President, his speech, they also, understand, say, they therefore tune down the political undertone. Before you point fingers at somebody, make sure you have all the evidence. Remember the Chombo, you remember what may happen na Pandemba Road. He came out with a similar speech where he talks say na terrorist blaming squarely on the opposition party. Investigations, independent investigation on that particular incident, no get any indication. I repeat, no get any indication for sure say the opposition were involved in it. And we come again to this particular forum, we express my concerns about that statement made by His Excellency the President. When he makes some of the indications here, some of them comment here, make sure you have all the evidence available. All the evidence available. Perhaps if you been just limit them, if you been just limit them for now, to you talk about terrorism, which probably has to do with incitement made by the diasporans, because it's evidential. That is evidential. The audios are all over the place. This has been going on for weeks. And again, that was the time when we expect, say, the president for don't come out, and counter, make statement, effective statement for us, just for give the words of courage to the citizens of Sierra Leone. But that never happened. Until when the incident happened, that's the time we see, there's no coordination. All man, they come, they can't talk you. You listen to Jamiru, they can't talk you. Although that's a personal opinion, then you listen to the Minister of Youth, he talking you, then the president. There's no coordination, which has been lacking as far as this government is concerned. And we point out during the COVID, there was no coordination, although we praised them, the way how they handled COVID to some extent, but there was also that lack of coordination when, but to conclude, to conclude, under difficult circumstance, when I say difficult circumstance, under economic crisis, the cost of living crisis, to be specific, in a country where already they suffer difficult circumstance, it exacerbate, it make the situation become even worse. So this is why when parliamentarians then come with that bill, when they talk about increase in wages and allowances, we thoroughly criticize that, because you and I and most people living in the diaspora know, say right now there is a cost of living crisis. But what is the question is, what is the government doing about it? Especially in a country like Sierra Leone. This is why we need thorough leadership. We need thorough leadership. Thorough leadership in the sense that you need for the come out, talk to the people then. As I say earlier on, what are you doing about it? Every day we open TV now, most other countries in the world right now that they talk about what each individual government is doing about it in order for cushion. Then people are not saying, I mean business. We know there are challenges around the world right now, which are not easy. But what is the government doing about it? How are you consulting? How are you involved in engaging the people? Especially in a country where joblessness is always on the rise. The president mentioned that. He understands what the situation is. He highlights all those things. But were you communicating these things to your citizens then? We do not expect. He talks about this is not the time for talk too much. We know the free quality, the education is important. You spent about 20, although this again, we don't mention that now this forum, in the method. I think it's a good thing, but you have to be gradual with the approach. We don't talk about this before. And this is why in the beginning expose some of the gaps then where they talk about. Don't expect good times all the time. In life, you do not expect good times all the time. So when they plan, leadership is about forecast. Leadership is also about forecast. You anticipate. So if A, B, C, D happen, what are we going to do about it? That is what leadership is also about. For expect, say, then situation again for arise. Nobody mean they see COVID-19 happen. But we know, say, in leadership, for they anticipate that. Say something like this will likely happen. Not specifically COVID, but, difficult circumstances they arise whilst in governance. So do not always, when you plan for them, you don't always use them as an excuse. We see these countries that we talk about. There are short-term measures then. For now, free quality education is there. But what are the short-term measures? Yeah, where they use in order for cushion impact. I know you talk about tax cuts on essential commodities, but you listen to the interviewer. They translate right now for cushion this burden, economic burden on the people then. They translate much. This is why you have to be innovative. You have to come up, sit down with the government, engage the people them, engage other sectors them. What are we going to do about it? Yeah? There are short-term measures. You don't talk about tax cuts. There are cash transfers. That are short-term measures. One have been used during COVID-19. And when in country how they talk so right now, and they happen, and other African countries are doing similar, not only in Western world, other African countries are doing it right now. You talk about subsidies is another way for cushioning the impact. And no, you are operating on a thin revenue collection. The revenue collection, because also when we talk, these are economic issues. We have to be careful. Because what in happen, you get for when you take measures, you also get for think about the budget. What in left? What in are the money we wanna get? But the fact that this country don't rely so much on donor, when this donor when they come inside, there's a problem. And they face challenges them for use the aid for devise other strategies them where they will use for cushioning the impact here. Then they sit down, they wait for donors for candy the money for let it help. It's not going to help. Sit down and think innovatively how we will cushion. This is why we put you there. We believe, say, you're effective enough for meet those challenges. But when you're not able to meet those challenges, then the chances of you being reelected, they narrow down. Yeah? So as I said no more, subsidies, loans, grants, price cuts, all of these measures, fuel price adjustment, you talk about that, which a good number of people, they say, consistent with the reduction in price in the international market, the fuel price in the international market. Yeah? But these are some of the things them we would expect. And for crown this all, AAA, the factors are quite clear. We all lay them down. Yeah? We don't say, the cost of living crisis is an important one for mention. And that joblessness, especially among the youth, is also something for mention. Yeah, the effective communication of the, from the leadership. There is complete lack of coordination within the government. Nobody does come out for educate people. We even invite them already for can talk. Some of them are so ignorant. They're not able to explain. Then things that being ignorant is the way forward for consult and talk to the people. But there are ways where it will be effective, in putting down this communication. I will rest my case for now. Thank you very much, this AAA, and thanks to everybody who is listening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usman Tolly.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Lockout Alpha. Let me hear you. Waiting in get for we today. Welcome on board, Alpha. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, AAA. I want us to continue for give me.
You look the sound far. No.
Okay, you don't clear now? Yeah, I want to give me heartfelt condolence to the one that we lost their life, especially one of my university colleague back home, one of the police officer we lost their life. Simply, I want to make quick comments, and then at least I will give you a recommendation as usual. I want to first of all start with the statement of the Deputy Minister Solomon Jamiru. Then I will follow up and with Steady Bongo, Umaru Fofana, and then I will come to the President and I'll give me your own conclusion. The first thing I want to say, Solomon Jamiru, in statements, they clearly state I'm out of politics. Yeah, most of the one the way they advise the president, when they surround themselves with the president, then put politics before everything what they do in the country. Even when they go na media, even when they go na radio stations, them when they talk, they see the politics at play clearly. So everything what they say now out of grudge, out of it's as if they get something against opposition party. So everything what you say, they don't politicize them. Even when they try for make correction to this government, because the people who surround themselves with the president, they say now the politics now still up the head. So what did they happen? They're not even accept fault. So everything with they don't make the political landscape now the country is so fearful that now ordinary civilian self or what they call go free for talk, because when you talk, they must say either na APC, you na this, you na that. Okay, like into the statement again, like I say, Jamiru make a very, very honest statement, and I like him. He say, this is my own honest opinion, and not opinion as an SLPP member or as a SLPP member, at the same time, not the opinion as a deputy minister. He made it as a Sierra Leonean. Yeah. So if people call for his resignation or let them fire him, these are the people away party business. They na the aid. Now then they don't the way na label business. Now they don't recognize, they say they don't talk. So they say na that kind of way they say one for playing in politics. So they will continue for say so. Yeah. But I guess one key thing where I think now lacking from the starting of this government, it said there is a gap. And that gap they AAA, now the gap of communication. When you watch all the one the way they saw from the strategic committee where they said where they get na state house, state candle, the one the way they talk, they are they're so I don't know if it's in na anger then get inside them. They even when they ask them question, sometimes that they redirect the journalists them how to ask them question. No ask me this question this way. You don't ask me and this way. But that's not what not to really tell the person how to ask you question. Yeah. So if they take this Jamiru in advice seriously, trust me, even this short period where left them can make a huge turnover or even change a lot of mindset of people right now. Because many people not see the physical evidence of this government up till today while they talk. Yeah. Another thing again where I want for bring camp. Now, what Steady Bongo say, I don't say where people they call out the president for the address the nation. A lot of incidents that not happen where people expect the president for address the nation, talk in like a president. No can talk like you still the run politics, you still the run for position. Say, look, me I still the Adipan campaign. No, even for when they don't take over as and government, put politics aside, address issue as they come. Not begin to, every time when something happens, they have where they will cast the blame. Every time when something happens, a free tongue on a salon, they have where to cast the blame. Either na APT, either na, not to win at the first. When it comes to good, now the first and the history of Sierra Leone, that's what they will say. But the fact remains, when is this government going to accept their responsibility? Say, yes, we have faults here. Yes, we need for work on this side. We need for improve on with delivery. Then things they do. But every other time they can in the media, the spokesman, the strategic committee people, it's as if they enjoy for just the defend government or they enjoy for just the life with people there. And not knowing that, then they continue for make people go against the government. Then they continue for make people then go bitter against this government. This thing don't start like days ago. We don't hear this thing. Create a dialogue at the candidate AAA. You see the BBC journalist, she's very, very well matured. You see, I asked the president, he make, when they listen, you don't say this, there is no way for escape this one. Yeah, let's go down again, like I say, Umar Ufofana in interview again, what they do, they say, they ask the journalist asked Umar who say if the governments don't call for dialogue. Yeah, you see, this is not the bottom line for me settle all these protest issue. Even for when the woman they say they want for come out and listen to these people. They not say when you come out, you can't address the problem immediately. Listen to them. If not, give them a feedback. Okay, now know what I don't hear. I'll go discuss with the cabinet. We will see how we're able to, rectify them problem there. We talk to the people as a responsible leader. If you cannot confront people, you are not fit to be in front. And that's the problem when we get. Most of the people, they don't want to accept the fall. They don't want to take challenge. Instead, then they cast blame. Now, APC, we don't do this. For the 10 years, they not change the country. Not only they can't change them. But yet still, you gave us campaign messages. You gave us a lot of promises in these campaign messages. So if people are asking questions now, it's your responsibility for answer them. Not for just the cast defense. Yeah? Not for just the defend. So for me, the question, the call them way them people have make, Jamiru and Steady Bongo, it clearly shows say there is a gap between the government and the people. And would that be for me, apart from the government, the president, the strategic committee, and then the Ministry of Information, these are the people that are responsible for pass information to the people and even to the president. Not only waiting nobody come out from, you see, now this is not the other thing we are not thinking people know. When they say you are a communication person, not only waiting they come out to the president, to the and the country, you also get the right for take what they come out from the country to the president. That's your role. Not to alter it clear everything safe, this and that. No, this na APC then they do that. No, there is a message people and they send. Out of this entirety, what don't happen, Tripoli, what you will learn from her, what in this government learn from her. They're not even talk one good thing with they learn from this or one bad thing with they learn. Instead, from the president's condom, then they cast the blame to opposition. Where is the evidence? Are they candidate Tripoli? Where's the evidence? They say na APC. Yeah? But even when they say na faceless protest, Tripoli, nothing not starts from the like a cam like magic. No, this thing has a base where it starts. From them point, and they give a listen ears to these people. What to know for demonstrate for, then you can able to address the nation as a leader, not for just the cast blame. That they take me straight up to the interview with the president. Interesting. I listen them na office, I come on the office while they can also listen them. Now this time we take them on this one, Tripoli. One, first of all, the president not blow itself. Take note, Tripoli. A can last night slap it on this way because of the time difference. When they grant and the interview, it not get almost evidence it don't begin cast blame straight off. Now the opposition. See the lady with the interview, and this lady too smart. He say, waiting now you prove. He say, no, I think na thoughts. How you do something happen? You first thought what they get now opposition. So even when you don't get that thought today, you don't get a preconceived idea. So waiting they happen, even if you want to put effort, forget the to the bottom of it, you preconceived idea, they continue for control you work. And now that make the Tombo issue will not get any results. They today for when they investigate. The Pademba Road Saka for when they investigate. State today, the McKinney for when they investigate. State today, because they've already got it in their mindset, say this now opposition, and then they cause all ends here. And which, if we do thorough investigation, there is no, there have been, I don't say true, no, they do, but the evidence will prove, say 100% now opposition party responsible for the NTR, we're not able to forget them. Yeah? Because citizens get right for express their desire. Listen to them, dialogue with them. Wait till you form the peace cohesion committee for whatever. This now decide now they roll in the wire. What do they pay them for? Now they roll in the wire for come out, listen, and cascade the information to the president. Let's go to the next point where they ask the president. They say, of course, they refer to the act as terrorism. And for me, even we not support, we condemn everything where they happen. But again, these are your people. If you don't they call their names, terrorists them. How would you go able to convince a donor where we go, or let's say investor, you the president don't refer to your own citizen they say na terrorists there. That word they alone, whose investor they glad if you go invest in money where you don't refer to your citizen there, say na terrorists there. Can a sober investor go invest in terrorist state or country? No way. So certain things, even if we heartwarm, even if we are hot-tempered, let we choose the words that we will say to we people them, because it get a long way they go. And now BBC, this that the whole world long get and say, Sierra Leone say the terrorists there. You know, certainty with choice of words are very, very much important. Who's investor will gladly for go put in money? No way, they're not go there. Let's go to the next point. They cast the blame to the diaspora them. You see, now they can say this, these governments need to accept their faults. You cast the blame to the diaspora them, waiting on the diaspora them faults. Okay, let's assume say some, because not to all. Some diaspora creates all kind insane message, all kind inciting message accepted. But the fact remains, you are the president, you are the ruling government. What did you do to question that problem? Instead, you still put and say, now the oppositions them. Now then they cause all length here. No, the lady put them directly to them. Say, okay, these people and the youth, then they say they're unemployed, they say they're angry, but what you don't do for settle this problem now at hand. Instead, they begin giving history back. We don't give free quality education, institutions them now all the districts, headquarter towns. These are not a quick fix, or these are not immediate effects for settle this problem. They are not. These are long-term plan. So at the end of the day, this problem will still continue. That's the bottom line when we derive from this interview. Because the president will give you a clear picture for saying, yes, this is XYZ, this is what we are going to do as a government. What do we for do? Let us listen to these people. Let us talk to them. Let we get you. It just start like when you get picking at us. If the picking, they misbehave, they do things, listen to them. Try for know as parents why this picking they behave so. If you don't know, you're able to settle the problem. But they have, the whole interview for look, all the one that we don't talk on behalf of the government, none of them has ever accepted that the government not do their role well. Let's go to my other point, AAA. Interesting. I love this interview with the president. Yeah, I don't talk about the long-term plan. The other thing again, it talk about there's a shift in agriculture. I love this English shift in agriculture. What shift? Which kind of shift in the agriculture sector? The whole government implement Tamabum project where I think Yusuf Keke Thomas and any other day we go on a radio for interview, they talk about that. Have we seen a bag of rice from Tamabum? Have we seen what is the shift? What is the result? Well, we don't get evidence of this. Now that Tamabum project, that can million when they put. Now the result and where we they get up till today, there is not a single bag of rice where they don't harvest from Tamabum. So what is the shift in agriculture? What is it? How that shift they don't able for let the hunger now the country reduce. This again is a long-term plan, not a short-term, not a immediate for reduce the hunger rate. No go back. See, I don't be the term as one of the countries we get the highest rate of hunger. So these are the questions where they ask the president. Instead, they give we round. At the end of the day, not able for they answer the question directly. Okay, my last point I will say AAA. Yeah, I love this lady. I wish I be a Facebook page or whatever for the follower. He said, think say the cost of tickets where you don't fly, go able to improve or reduce the suffering. He said, not think so. Can you imagine? Lord, check almost this president don't travel and almost one travel cost. Multiply them by all the travel. If you don't do one developmental project in the country. But he will accept that. Instead, you see, he justify him back. He say, again for can't travel again. And the last thing I will say finally, who that we for believe? Yusuf Keke Thomas, they give you one message. The Minister of Information, they give you another message. When they ask the president, what he go do now London, he end up for say, na medical treatment he go for. But initially, they say na private visit. Initially, they say na, it's too much, AAA. When the government no one take responsibility of the things the way they happen at the country, now the result and the way they get, they will continue for lipawi, they will continue for raise things the way. At the end of the day, it will make youth them get more and more angry because the answer where youth then they expect, the thing that we youth then they expect, not to the youth then tell them say una write manifesto, not to the youth then tell them say una make a new direction manifesto or whatever, people's manifesto, all the things they want them put the bread and butter things, all these things, then don't address them. No way. Yeah, I could remember when they asked the president, say if you don't do it, he puts in a manifesto, he say don't do everything A to Z. But today, now they accept say unemployment rate very high, hunger in the country. He say yes, now government responsibility than they. But initially in an interview, he say don't do everything. Na bonyana they give me. When they asked Yusuf Keke Thomas Andy, he said the president don't do 89 or 98% of what he puts in the manifesto. So because GDC say they lack this gap of communication, you get different information every other day with the kind of media. Every other day. Go back to the free quality education. I mean, don't make these points. Yeah. Look, the beneficiaries them. The president, they give you how many thousand picking. The Minister of Education will give you different number. The strategic committee team will give you different number of picking them. That tells you these people, they not speak with one voice. The communication team, not they do their work well. And if not me president, are the older people, this communication strategic team are the only accountable because they're not they tell me say they're not hearing nothing for when this year they happen. Yeah. They don't know nothing. They just see no more youths. Then grab them, begin demonstrate. No way. They don't get this information early as possible. What did they do? What did they do? Even the security force. Una for don't alert them. Una for don't draw them. You know, there are a lot of things so them for don't do for for even stop this demonstration. We're not for reach perfect, not for reach per anything but not dialogue. I think that me won't take triple. Let God continue for bless you.
Thank you very much, Alpha. I want to say thanks to Alpha for your own contribution. I tell you, say make you no gonna say, just wait no more small. Yourself go can't get a bite. But before you get an opportunity today, or for read, you may earn the right. Yeah? Before you get your opportunity, I will read you Miranda rights, make you know what's in there at stake for you. Just come out and say you want to agree. Say then lack consistent talking points. Welcome with Tony. Let we waiting in get for you. Welcome on board, Tony to Jones. You get the platform.
Yeah, Abraham, thanks for having me. Kusha and Kaba Fambulem. So much to digest, so much information. But we still dey pray. And we're not going to have for relent, for call, make God help we country. Probably we need for make we call her more and make we press on, But the situation of the country really serious because nobody not go happy for country like Sierra Leone way that we only country will get. Wherever we live in any side of the world, you understand? And that country then with the glad way you go holiday, you go vacation, you feel good. Even though we lack the basic things then, but you feel good. You understand? Some of we then as salon, till the war starts, till end. Me now one person and no one away go give myself when I'm in second home. I didn't say done. You understand? So we know. They say come on, can't see the pool we do the one who come on adult. So we know. We know what's in our war. Some of we go put gun on beside them for shoot we, for kill we. Brook streets. Shaka Steven Street, Kutoroda Junction, they now they are I grew up. So then we had they imagine how it was like, So when we see all that they happen, indicators them way may lead we to war, injustice, this, that, and people are not able to act or being proactive, it make you worry. Because a lot of people who are diaspora plenty. Get people who they take care of Nazalone. Some people they get businesses, some man get projects, some man get all the things that they do, don't they? So nobody know they glad you for make you see what's in the happen, so you happy and you support them. But just like we always say I'm at this place. You get your whole communication strategic units in State House. One green person, now one corner, overrun all the communication pillars there. Just because there's complete, no system, no day. We don't talk about so many times. Mr. Say don't talk. We say the proper system in place. Now serious challenges than the day. And wait through the system now because we not get proper system in place. Nobody know they talk in harmony. They talk with emotions. All man, you find out say we when they talk, they see you like vex, like like stress. No. You way now you na president or now day in governance, when I get so much potential. Now una for even exercise much patience because una now day in governance. Now una for exercise, now una for reach out. I remember vividly when First Lady and EBK took one picture. That picture went viral. In space of 2 hours, you see everybody on WhatsApp group. They say, look at more, one hour the facts. 1 hour where they chair close for politicians. Look at them today. I see no reason why the president no go one day say, I go today, I go fend EBK. You know what kind of bold statements that go send? You know which kind thing where that they go. Remember the number 2 man go fed the EBK. You know the kind tension where that they go reduce. You know the kind now you there as president, nothing not they ever change Randy. You get a term where you deserve, where you don't say I deserve the people there. But for making a come say the president not to me party, the former president not to me party, or this or that, you always throw shit, you always this. That's disrespect. You come, you go meet and say, but I don't come for help you fetch Ebola. You meet them, then give whatever they get for you, you go fetch sensitize. When Ernest by Kuma come as president, the first person we take on the first visit, Namara Bioke Ghana. We all know. We not to waste time. We not to the one who left salon to Igbo. We know what thing happen in that country. You as president, now you not like a way they say, you not the dirty box, you not everything. You know they get ego. You know they be arrogant. You know they be this. You need people them. If you grab for create that kind peaceful atmosphere in a salon, then tell what they happen. Talk and go, talk and come. EBK regime get a lot of flaws them where they so many things them corruption, they rampant this. Maybe the people that decide they say, okay, will they put you? Now they give you. The people know they expect for make them begin to listen the same national anthem, the same problem where they be faced with the past regime. They want to change because you campaign on a new direction. So when you say new direction, what everybody they expect now a better life. Before even Ebola, COVID, before even Russia, salon things we don't they add. We all know how the dollar rates we don't they. Things were very tough. Prices were just going up. Inflation. I'm not gonna say it's rapid inflation. But you see every day price changes. You come as a president, nothing wrong for me. You not try for create or maintain that peace where you meet. So many things that already happen. So then tension how they create, then this and that. Now they cause all them things there for themselves. For me, I think that they cause them. Because even when you listen to the radio program where they go sit down, like even Lima, they all go on radio for talk. Oh, you're talking to a minister. You're talking to a government official. Oh, you're talking to this. No, calm down. You've been once they don't they. No allow that position for going down our aid. You don't get for day forever. You get for calm down back and meet the same people in long day. So what you get for be very cautious in certain things that what you say and certain things that what you do because you want people there. You can condemn. You can do whatever you want for do in a professional manner. But not see everybody now we condemn. Oh, they are na APC. They are na APC. KK1 was no APC, but when I get disputes with her, now the party, oh, no, all media as SFPP. What in the way not KK1 late mama? What in the way this power regime not do? They not do that mammy they hijab na head all. They not pitch para mammy they, you know. So when they talk about lawless and then say now they also say orchestrate lawlessness from day one. We don't even come as far as what's in the call. So but when you don't know, they wouldn't be calling as terrorists. Say they are not terrorists in SFPP office. What did they want to not do? People don't know not to order no money in favor. When they support power permit, they're easy access for going to SFPP office. Anybody call and then they say party office, say they are not terrorists there. And all they have seen the way they do that thing day, that mean good thing. Nobody not calling terrorists inside the new political party where them pit father mommy, that late mommy, then do a hijab. Not so that they don't make KKY no waiting. What you know KKY no see under this power regime. Inside that party of you reach say no they go there. So when they talk about lawlessness, they say now victim, they say don't do things the way to other people there. Nobody not give their names. But they like you see when you need KKY, you go in a kitchen, go fena. Because you need her now. Those things from day one where you can ask president. Now that same day, you know, say, I'm now the president. You begin reach out. You begin reach out. You see, even Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. You see the relationship between, imagine anybody when they follow Kenya election. Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. The mutual respect where they between those two guys. Even when they go to the police, even when they attend public functions, there's so much respect. They feel good. You see, you see Obama and George Bush when they meet now McCain in Berry. You see the mutual respect. They talk when they laugh and they just. When else you don't see with the former president and with presidents, then they laugh, then they joke. You create a hostile situation like say, oh, you God, you this, you that. They get all this tension. From day one when they took power, all this name calling now, not to today the beginner, it don't begin from then. We don't say yes, APC regime, we get so much issues. But when you did as Ed, what it mean that the point why they try for make care is you as Ed, you as a family, or you were now boss, when at this and that, you know they get too much ego. You reach out across the aisle. Try for create friendship. Try for create. We all brothers. Population of Salona even reach 8 million. We all brothers and sisters. This is not possible you don't interact with before. Because when you watch all this tension what they see, where you receive your blood and all this, oh now the former president, oh this now this and that, oh now they don't have a second. A baseless. For me, I feel say a baseless. Communication at one. I talked this yesterday. And all what I mentioned yesterday in my submission, a lot of difference not in between you and Jamiru say. They created a vacuum. And when you created that gap, what do you expect? Now other Maoists you don't know one small corner, they feel with negative vibes. You get your whole strategic team in State House. What's in a day for its money, for council they do your labor business. Why do not develop a strategy of a counter and be more informative? Give people information. And when not they function, now the whole way they pay them for. You got all media house. You got your station in the Eastern, vibrant one day. How many times you've seen those people go to the Far East and say, no, today we won't forget a town hall meeting. I radio. People then call out, listen. That's what you do. People call and give them. Let me hear what people then they say and look and use those objections. I say yes, they made certain points. You understand? But when you feel them, you say they sabi everything, they know everything. Oh, this and that. Oh, they left the one and they know the outlaws. Oh, they one and this and that. This is the effect. I feel say they don't learn and then now they go back to the drawing board. Let them suicide and miss. So many opportunities where this government may get for ride on. Then they kick out with a blessing. Even the business people, the importers of basic foodstuff, the basic yam, they not get good relationship with them. They not even get good relationship with the people where they import the basic things that they try about, the bread and butter. They don't have that kind of effective relationship. When they talk about it, not just for phone call. Effective relationship with them people where they will get a very good buying, a very good conversation. It's not there. because they feel say, oh, now we too sabi, now put you in this position. No. Can people then wake 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, go vote for una because they trust una. Because of which una campaign on say we're gonna fix the problem. We they come with a new direction, we they come with a new thing, this new system, we they come with certain thing for address the burning desire, the burning issue, to fix the bread and butter. When I the main challenge. So if people then come out, they want for talk, they want for ask question. You na papa, now you na the papa na the host. I like that you bobo the way they near you, so that you minister, and they will tell you negative vibes, they tell you this. Don't listen to them. What you right for do? You know you can for do. They want and then you don't know to tell you the truth because you make the one for continue for the eat from you. You can forget emotional intelligence. You can forget Daniel Goleman. You get the whole book way right, working with emotional intelligence. I do that book then when I just sent at grad school. It's when you read that book, Goldman, it's on YouTube. David Goldman, it's titled Working with Emotional Intelligence on YouTube. Extract them on YouTube. And see how you've been in, you can forget that kind of initiative. You can forget empathy. You can forget this. When you get all those attributes as a leader, you know they get ego. You think about the masses. You always think. You always remember the people that say, yes, I get a mandate. And the mandate that for change life to be better. That for make people their life, at least when they go sleep, they know see there is courage, there is hope at the end of this tunnel. Nobody need to expect the government put bread and butter at the table. But you get for create the atmosphere where I go for no serious, I go go work and make. You get for create that atmosphere where people then come for invest. You get for create that atmosphere where people then go no say they trust the system. Say yes, at least I can go to Sierra Leone and make an investment, and investment become worthwhile. Or I can go to Sierra Leone and invest the middle level mapper, very equipped, they train, they are very skilled. Then we don't talk about so many times. Build institutions where can take some of them guys from the street, make them, empower them, give them skills, semi-skills. So many opportunities in there. Now they talk about the government gets a lot of constraints. It's out of finance. Talk about revenue stream. But the one when they spend money, they show say when I get financial crisis. Who guys they spend, like I say, there is abundance. There's this the money they now for spend. Now so now they spend. On account now increase more people, more jobs, all this. Give a lot of create plenty things. We're not there against for making create more jobs for your party people them, but you can for do a system. They get a systematic approach. Do a one way say yes. But when you get small, bigger resources where they, how many companies where they where they operate? How much the taxes that they pay? How many exports will they do? What do they do? We get unfavorable balance of payments. We get unfavorable because we spend more outside than what they receive. So have to look outside the box and see how they can spend prudently, therefore spend smartly. You remember when COVID came? Look at them Muscada where they go buy. Almost $1,000 where they spend for them Muscada, which were not even relevant. They were not even necessary at that point. If I don't save their money, then they for do other things. So many things they do when they spend money pan were not necessary. Now you talk about constraints, they're constraints. So I mean, it may take Abraham. I mean, it's so much. Just there's not to tell we get for play blame game. The way we're along there, this current crossing road over there right now, it's not about blame game. It's about how we can come back together as a family. How them on the other side, the left and the right, for come together. And then we dwell like how we used to dwell together. Look where Nations Cup media. Look how Salon. Are they Salon when Nations Cup starts? Say Nations Cup done. See how people they jubilate, people they glad. People don't want we know about episodes. People we were so united. We enjoy with this, with that. Everywhere now they play. That's Salon they want for see. Not to this Salon where you get people that they incite people there. Based on the particular, everybody gets your interest. We want for see. Salon way people then they do with we don't use for live and enjoy, we chill together, we party together with this Christmas, we pull the devil. Then go say back that is not relevant. But even in America, the Caribbean they pull devil, they pull mass and they in the street. You see, pardon they come out, this they come out. People they enjoy social amenities. People don't live for you, they even forget about politics when they come out. All those things not again. So now all the conversation now with is politics. Stress politics. That's not me take. They created all this vacuum.
Okay.
And if you created all this vacuum, then they cause the problem.
Judge the accepting at the book in him again.
And then Daniel Goldman came working with emotional intelligence.
Okay, Daniel Goldman. Judge Command, Daniel Goldman. Eh?
They're on YouTube, they're on Amazon and everything.
All right.
If you read that book today, you will see who's that with problem there. It will show you but put things there. When we lead that, they apply.
All right, thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome, bro.
Welcome on board, who's friend. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pule, for giving me the platform. And thanks to Mr. Usman Toli for his submission. And thanks a lot to all the listeners and viewers them for the one who they support. To one them who read the comments, they read in the comments. Well, it's up to how they want to understand. This issue wouldn't they go to the fourth day in the week? Wouldn't they see now this stage today we past Thursday, then they try to see how they go address them. But we don't see waiting at the underlying issues that we don't bring up to this. So we don't try for comment on them and try for see what we feel about them. And but here, the point with some that they argue of, I would want for address and quick before I go further on the submission. Because when you talk of you blame the economy or the economy in a crisis, we in a global crisis, then why they blame the government? But I believe say when if you sit down carefully, you do a survey of each country in the world, why they are affected by, let's say, the war in Ukraine or by the Ukraine war. Let's put on because not the most incident one. So you go look in a different way. All man getting reason. The fact is there, it cause them. But the fact is there, when I fail to do something individually, UK and for that, they always say now for that because I am there for now. Now that waiting them feel for do is quite a lot. Waiting una they get from Russia, una before able to forget yeah. Waiting una able they suffer from EU, una be able to organize them. But when una don't come see don't be, una not able to proceed further. Waiting then they do. Now they bring me to me on topic now where now the area how people then for try the risk political tension. And for avoid this topic, what I've been talking about metaphor then, about the effect and the bad effect of framing any political situation with the persuade by using metaphor. What are they meaning? Because now a political idea, if you look about politics, now you silent politicians themselves, then they characterize themselves, or then they characterize the opponent, or what they can do, any political agenda, what they get, say like the agenda of free education, or the agenda for can't change, what they call them power. So these are adjectives, not in the bad way, but it depends how they use these adjectives. I mean, in terms of metaphors, in other words, how they try for frame a model. But when you frame a model using a metaphor in politics, before realize it, you are trying to de-risk an area whose fragile situation don't they take. Everybody they talk you they accept them, say one for go to peace and reconciliation cohesion. How you go always avoid them? Compromise it can do. You get the dialogue where you can talk about. So people and go sit down, they exchange ideas and opinions for development. So if all those areas they're not being done the day, people and they where they follow different sectors, then you see how they lack in certain communities them, and they proceed not only to communities, they proceed to a bigger areas till it become a national issue. So, but when you look at from this point, say Nadentia be done the cause small issues them, wherein you they try for say now I've been a dialogue. Or have you don't try for open window? Why don't extend a kind of a piece something hand out to the others? But you they ask the question, say, were these type of dialogue a kind of inner dialogue or an outer dialogue? Or a dialogue wherein you they try for say now, they try for go when a direct dialogue they do. But when you see most of them where you go term them like in a dialogue. What do I mean? Because that's in the all what you as an individual, they talk but only they think not to yourself no more and within this immediate bodies then what you get. So when you see that one day they occur, you go see some people inside that member they now, or if now you mind, you angry, but you must share that idea, they go say, not to so, not so it would be. So you might see some similar aspect where we go say, oh, maybe now for that, Solomon Jamiru go come because of this inner dialogue when they go on where the people and they comment things innerly, or I will go for the outer dialogue. And the outer dialogue is what will be done, they miss wherein the character, they all, and they come together, and then they try to embrace themselves for the story. And the story, they are going to play the story. And when they play the story they begin from, what's how we get wrong? What's in because this? And then what it can be from opinions and what would they share. And that brings you now back to the area when they talk about effective communication, that you get the listening and support. Because that's when both parties are there, they exchange their ideas and opinions for development. And during this point, you get people and where they listen and support. And then they write down and then they support. What are they listening and support? Both parties they listen and support. That they give me idea, support this. If something doesn't well, now because of the price they don't go up, what did I go able to do? Well, then they go bring idea. Something like somebody that been interviewed during this hot seat. He say, you get that dialogue for say, and they can add me your idea. I know what I say because of my APC, because the room there where they opened for me, and he said, me demonstrators, I've been saying one thing, that one of the mainstream medias, where he been there, he expressed say, somebody in the other party, call them for let you go add in your opinion towards development will be work for that point there. So this is what we try to talk about, what's in that dialogue, the effective dialogue, where they open these windows where people then go able to come inside. That they bring me come more at the specify now the area of whether then the referendum wouldn't they come. Today we see the immediate people instead of the speech, whether they call the diplomats. Waiting then go during this diplomats, then try to show they say, will they reassure una say una safe na the country. But if somebody call me, I go sit down in a stranger, then I go in a village, and they tell me say that they can't reassure me say the security they in control. And then during that 10 day, somebody they begin to come say, here, then bang bang, then they like or they sokobana, then they like or then people for come on a net. But no worry, then why you don't come on a net no more. We will deal with them. But the person don't know the strategy. So if you don't tell and say, now I know the choice, I they stop. What you there for if for tell on that moment, for example, well, the society that will they begin telling and say, then people are afraid, una left for come out. Now we'll deal with them, how for let them go stop, to by force, but we'll deal with it the way where them go safe. But if you go tell and say, they don't buy it, so then they in this place here. Now they make or then people here or them anything more fearful. So if you see say the scenario what they put up today, to me on view, then they talk about the same metaphor of trying to give a name to certain things in a so be that terrorists. So when you use the word terrorist, and then what you show grave images into the people and then go see the fear. Saying I saw them civilians there, then they do. But they try to tell the people, let's civilians there, when they try for fair way, let them go stop this bad thing. But if you don't show the fear, that means, if they want tomorrow something happen, what if I will get caught up within this? Or, as you said, the bullets then go shoot no more anytime. What if I will get caught off during the crossfire? So, this is what we try to talk about. When you create an avenue, how you they able for deal with them, and then how you they able for let you go able for this escalator and the risking, not for saying not necessary, but maybe if you say the approach was more of they call names. And when you they call name, remember, now it aggravates arguments. And from arguments, now so it they build up from name calling and so on and so forth. So you for avoid that one day of name calling, where they bring the area of praise and understanding, then you leave the room for let people and go able for become welcome. And then you see say that broad spectrum we don't create. Say reality then at the ground, now so we they try for approach them. Economic problem there at the ground, now so we they approach them. Diversity there, that's so we they approach them. But if anytime they tell about corruption, well, like corruption are so easy. All the country divide, while the country we don't divide. But how you they try for solve them? Because that's the outside bodies and they give money. Now brings me now to the diplomats they were talking about when they go today for go listen to this. Some of them listen to the tweets they wouldn't do. But back today I won't see Today, if you tweet somebody in tweet, when just about 6 hours or 9 hours ago, this person now, not to the one yesterday, now this now they call her Michelle Bachelos because he is responsible for UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. What did he say? He talked quite a lot. He said he called for accountability following reports of several casualties and facilities during this public protest. He talks yesterday, he urged the authority so they will able to facilitate rather than seek to prevent peaceful protest. You see, now two things, and he said for facilitate and rather than go they just do no more for let them go prevent. You see, peaceful protest because if you follow the protest and you try to see the investigation, what they put, what makes everything. Say then people might try to ask today, for example, that bobo and bring our spirit to Nakonot. May he so rest in peace. What I talk about is that you're not able to make a hope he died this morning. But the point I asked today, who's still want to bring them? Okay, then I asked the time when people in Mendepa demonstrate, protest. Then I asked the time when the shooting of bullets they try for calm. Even though they are not to go, then I go to ask now the others them. So you see the sequence I go begin when would I begin shoot bullets? So the man them in there, we see some clips and then they match with civilian. We see back police and tear gas at some point. Then we hear of gunshot and bullets. Then what people die off. One or two civilians then, but here is all the whole cartridge. Let's just come with this. I'm not saying these are not isolated things where people can always time for hijack. That's then they take situation for calm. That is the point where me they look and hear from. But the point say the sequence they already happen. Now you then they say, una investigate. Let una not just they embark and say let people and all demonstrate. So you see back again before then, what's in the Babatunde don't do. The 3rd of August, they don't begin to spend money, UNDP, UNICEF, and other agencies then for let them go get fund, for let them go get this peace building in all meeting. Go now in tweet page, you go see him. The 14th of July, recently, what did he do? He meet with this other lady who they call MSB Mansari. What did MSB Mansari he talk about? He said the conflict prevention is better than peace building. So in other words, then people are they rely. When sometimes they say now you can go for United Nations. Where for now it's good because they don't present us somebody who will represent. But on the other side, then people are back and they remind you. Then get special bodies who tell you now so and so thing you care for do. That brings me come to listening and support. Then they're ready for listening to you. They will only tweet from what I tweeted that we see from yesterday. When are the other UN somebody again? Not the same thing. Then they come about dialogue, not do this. So if now we they talk this, then we'll say, oh well, now the APs like this. But now the people then when they watch what una they get daily rub hand for let una work hand for development for now. We're not glad because then they can't tell me sometimes what they do, but when they try for say for now, we care for work with them so we will tap what we will tap then use them. But if they don't up on this and they spend the money for that, all they tweet, they know they say una do this and they say dialogue, una investigate, transparency, una not just there for prevent peaceful protest. So this is what is the problem where I believe say waiting at the scene of the country, let politicians and left for brand each other, and then they try for deal with anything when are uncomfortable truth in the acceptance of the reality. Because the uncomfortable truth, where they tell you, that's the most difficult aspect where you can deviate yourself for letting you put development at the place. So you bring up immediate reactions then. Boku will for discuss, but no go talk all. They say they help the economy, they say this, but people then they talk about things then where you go put in place rather than things then where you go say alter and they can aggravate or put more distress to the wound will be done big. So now for that they try for avoid issue them where they not good left wing, you see right wing or una this will not be able for help. So but it's quite a lot. I'm not one for thief all the time, but they point out the fact for say the possible things and what will cause this. Now they una get for look. When I make scenarios, them say the voting will lead them people there for be so. Now so get for do. You get for visit the people. We see even the time we go Losha, to be candid, able to go inside there because of the issue that we don't get. I don't know if you don't go McKinney because the McKinney na impossible in West Abinosi go there. But the point why they say not to the sections or not to waiting people and they feel about, but now waiting. I mean, sorry, they want for say then they derail the process of peace. But now the point say waiting they don't feel first. If even that person for protest, then go get ground. Just like what you say, this man now side and go tell this driver and go advise you not put your property behind your car. If you want, tilt them or not left hand where you put your telephone, you lock the vehicle, the taxi or you car, you go away. The person look at the window, you see the screen, see the phone there. You don't tempt them for thief and you are no one thief man. But if you not put on the thing in the past, it go just they go because it go the things when water will go broke, go pull it under. So you they avoid things where somebody go pick up for saying identity. Whether it is a reality, then go the effect for now, or whether they just want for destabilize the government to. But you they avoid this situation. Anytime you step forward, you put that in there to buffer, so you know go give the opposition ground for say, no, go on to this. Now that you speculate say, na scenarios and we don't cause them to on a political issue. So when you address them in a comfortable way, now in me believe say he go able for go before. Just like I go one for end up for tell them say, when I go say Ted Bulama, now that time they now then go say, no, we stand up. Let we say Mulo Bulama. Let we say Muli not go before. Let we say Mule so that we go able for praise and stand up together. Let we say Tawopane. Let we say we stand together. Let we say Ted Bulama for that country day. Let the people that will go before. Thank you very much. God help you. Thanks a lot. Sorry about this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usman.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.